Good morning, children. Welcome back. In the previous video, we started the new chapter of Unit 2, Section C, Tippity the Flying Squirrel. And we discussed that Tippity was a flying squirrel, a rodent family, and it was a pet of the author. Not only this, we also read that she knew that she was very beautiful and she had her own style of living. So now today we are going to continue with the same chapter. So just have a look here. And one more thing, she was brought to the author, she was given to the author as a pet when she was very small. And the author took care of the flying squirrel. And the author is very much fond of this Tippity. And Tippity also is fond of the author. Okay, now let's continue. She was brought to me when, I'm just reading one paragraph previous, when she was a few days old and grew into a splendid specimen in all the glory of a wonderful chestnut red coat and 2 feet of bushy tail. Means she was of which color? Red chestnut. She knew she was fascinating, attractive, even at a very early age, and nothing delighted her more than to show off. I said no, she had her own style, so she used to show off a lot. Her one drawback was that she was a nocturnal animal. Nocturnal means the animals which are active at night. So during the day she was not so much active, but she was more active at night when everybody used to sleep. Now let's start with the fresh paragraph. She lived in a little box with 2 partitions. Now we are discussing what the house of Tippity the squirrel. So she lived in a box, okay, with 2 partitions. She had 2 partitions in that box. The inner one, her bedroom, was fitted with a little nest of feathers and cotton wool. Now, in that box, there were 2 partitions. The inner one, the back one, had a bed of feathers and wool. And a tiny door led from it into the bigger sitting room. So, at the back side, there was a bedroom, small bedroom of her size with bed of feathers and cotton wool. And in the front, there was a sitting room which was quite big in size, where she also dined, means where she took her meals. The door of her sitting room being usually open. Now the door was, this room was generally, it was always open. Tippity would announce the fact that she was awake by giving a low growl and issuing from there a succession of long and not very graceful jumps. So Tippity used to sit in her sitting room and just to tell everybody, the family members, that she is awake, jaag rahi hai, she would make some growling sounds. What are growling sounds? Low goo goo type of sounds which animals generally do. And she used to jump. And that was not graceful, means just like junglis. Not junglis, but yes, she used to jump. She would make her way to the nearest table and there indulge in a tremendous stretch. Now, once she gets up, she used to growl and then jump, and just to tell everybody that I am awake, good morning everyone, she used to growl, jump, and then she used to shift to a table, and then she used to give a stretch. Yes, we also sometimes yawn and we give a stretch. So same way, this squirrel also used to give a stretch. Stretch in a way, 2 4 hands. Aage ke, 4 means aage wale. They were stretched in front and the back ones towards the back. Bilkul chit. Okay. And her tail used to move. Okay. Extending her forelegs. Now, how she used to give her stretch? As I said, extending her forelegs to the full in front, pura, of her, and her hind legs, means the back legs, as far as they could go behind her. वो जितना उसके पीछे जा सकते थे उतना उसको stretch करते थे. Her head would first rest on the right side of her forehead. Her head पहले right side and then towards the left side. Rest on the forefoot and then on the left. Her tail making circles in the air in the meantime. After her stretching would come her toilet. Now don't take toilet as that toilet, but means refreshing herself. Okay. And she had her own way of refreshing. Okay. So about which she was very particular. Tippity would sit erect and carefully get to work with both her little hands. And you might have seen squirrels, they sit on the hind legs, पीछे के legs पे बैठते हैं, erect, and then with the two hands they do something, right now? So this is what she used to do to freshen her up. So she used to just wipe her face, hands, everything. ऐसे, and like sort of massage, and she used to get herself refreshed. So she would work over the whole of her, beginning with the tip of her nose, she would gradually work over the whole of her face and head. Now after sitting erect with two little hands, she used to start from her nose and then her face, her head. Tippity would have a look around, I left a line, and head. The tail would be her last, but by no means least. And after doing everything, she used to clean her tail also. And this way, her toilet finished. Toilet means refreshing her up by giving a sort of massage. Tippity would have a look around, take one jump off the table. Now what she is doing all these things on the table, right? After refreshing her up, then she used to look around, jump from the table, and she used to go on the curtain poles. You know, we have these curtain poles, right? Race up to the nearest curtains to the pole above. There she would sit, her tail coiled round her neck, those great big black eyes, see adjectives of hers, looking solemnly down. Now once she finishes with her toilet, she used to climb up to the curtain pole, and from there she used to look around. Yes, what is happening around? Okay. And the moment the author used to come, she used to jump on his shoulder. There she would sit, her tail coiled round her neck, and those great big black eyes of hers looking solemnly down. And sooner or later, abhi ya baad mein, would leap right across the room onto my shoulder. So wherever the author, whenever he used to come or she used to come, the squirrel used to jump and sit on his shoulder. Okay, means the squirrel is also fond of the author. Just as author is fond of her, the squirrel is also fond of her, but she has her own routine. She has her own style of living. See, even these animals, they need space. they also need some time for themselves. And they do take time for themselves. After that, they switch to other activities. Right now, this is what we have understood. That this Tipiti, she takes rest, she stretches, that is her exercise. Then she cleans her up, and then she is ready for the other activities of the day. Let's continue. Now, Don, a field spaniel, and Brock, a large, shaggy Tibetan sheep dog. Now, who are they? These are two different breeds of dogs. You know what are breeds? You can say jati. So, these are two breeds of dogs, spaniel and Tibetan sheepdog. These are two breeds of dogs. They were Tibeti's best friends. These two dogs are also the pets of the author. So author has till now 3 pets, right? 1, the flying squirrel, and 2 dogs. So he has 3 pets, and all these 3 pets are good friends. Got it? Brock's great bushy tail. Now Brock, who is a Tibetan sheepdog, it has large hair on its body. Especially the tail is too bushy. Bushy means with large and thick cover of hair. So Brock's great bushy tail afforded Tipiti much amusement as well as shelter at the time of danger. So now this Tipiti, she used to play with Brock's tail because it was very bushy and she loved playing with his tail. And not only she used to play, but she also used it as a hiding place. So whenever she felt that there is danger around, because you know that these squirrels, they are very timid, बहुत ज़्यादा डरपोक होती हैं, बहुत जल्दी से डर जाती हैं. So this Tipiti, she is a squirrel and they get frightened very soon, and whenever they sense the danger, they quickly move to their hiding place. So same with this squirrel also moves to a hiding place, and her hiding place was Brock's bushy tail. So Tipiti used to hide behind his tail. So that was its hiding place. Tipiti knew friend from foe and the approach of stranger. She knew that who is friend and who is foe, means enemy. She knew. And whenever there was any signal, any sign of danger, to make use of Brock's tail as a hiding place. She used to hide in Brock's tail. Her behavior was not always that of a well-brought-up young lady. Now, what the author is saying, that she is not at all sophisticated or well-mannered. Okay, this Tipiti is not well-mannered. So sometimes, in some of her activities and her actions, she behaves which tells that she doesn't have the manners. One incident he has already mentioned, that whenever she used to get up after growling, she used to jump in an indecent way. Now there are few more incidents of her being ill-mannered, right? So, and truth obliges me to admit. Truth obliges means the author says that I must admit the truth. I must say the truth. And I must admit it. स्वीकार करना चाहिए that during meals, it was advisable to keep her tied at one end of the table. So when she was given when this author used to have his meal, they used to tie Tipiti with the table. Why? Because Tippity, as he said, was not a decent lady. She was not well behaved. As he's saying, well brought up. Brought up means palan poshan. Well brought up means she was not given proper mannerful upbringing. उसको बहुत manners के साथ upbringing, पालन पोषण नहीं मिला था. So he said कि it was advisable, it was advised that when the family, the author and his family used to have their food, they used to tie Tippity at one end of the table. Why? Let's see. I have already said that she had a lovely tail now. Why? Because Tippity already had a lovely tail, but its beauty was sometimes marred. Marred means destroyed, damaged. तो उसकी वो ब्यूटी कभी कभी खत्म हो जाती थी after passing through the soup. Because if you will not tie Tippity, then she will sit on the author's shoulder and her tail will keep on moving. And if he's having, and tail is 2 feet long. So it used to come into the soup. Soup में आ जाती थी उसकी tail. And obviously tail's beauty is also damaged and the soup is also destroyed. Both are destroyed. Got it? So passing through the soup, and so was the taste of the soup. All spoiled. Her own dinner. Whose dinner? Tippity's. Consisted of milk and occasionally custard. And occasionally custard. Custard you might be knowing. It is what I can say, corn flour, a sort of corn flour which we have to cook with milk, and once it is cooked we have to cool it down and we add many fruits, as many fruits as you can add, dry fruits and all, honey and all, and that is how custard is prepared. Some of you might be knowing also. So her food was milk and sometimes custard. Puddings she loved as much as any schoolboy. Pudding is also a sweet dish, so she loved to have puddings like a schoolboy. Just like children are fond of cakes and all, same way Tippity is also fond of puddings. And stewed fruit kept her happy all evening. And in the evening she would like to have stewed fruits. Now what is stewed? Stewing is a way of cooking in which we cook the food with its natural juices. Okay, we are making vegetables, right? And we cook the vegetables with some water and we let the vegetable be prepared by its own juices. उसी के juice से उसको हम जब पकने देते हैं ढक कर with low steam, low flame, that is called stewing. And she loved that kind of food, especially fruits in the evening. The hardest hill, the hardest hill walnut was child's play to her sharp teeth. Now, walnut, akhrot, is the food of a squirrel. And as we know that these squirrels love these walnuts, same way Tippity also loved walnuts. But it was what? Hardest hill walnut means hardest. The shell of the walnut is very hard and it is not so easy for even human beings to break it through. But for Tippity, it was a child's play. It was a बच्चों का खेल था because of her sharp teeth. It took her about 10 minutes to make a hole in the nut, and then her long teeth and tongue would soon fetch out most of the kernel. Kernel means the inner part of the walnut. So just in 10 minutes she was able to make a hole in that, and after that she was able to open it and eat it. So this is how Tippity used to have her food. And children, the remaining part of the chapter we'll do in the next video. And I want you to read the chapter and do the word meanings and the hard words in your notebook. Till then, thank you.